Hello, teacher. Can you hear me? Okay. I think you are muted.
The light went out.
Oh, lucky you. Okay, so I think I have to give the schedule on page again because we have postponed the reading club and I think some people, they are going with the wrong direction, so we better change it a little bit. Okay, today's topic is about chapter 23, right? Lena autonomy, learning to learn. So yeah.
Yes, okay, boss.
Okay, let's go like page by page, little by little, so that the people who are watching can also catch up with what we are saying.
Okay, so by the way, I need your help, teacher, because of I just at my mom, so I didn't bring that heavy book. I just bring it just only ebook for the fifth editions, and then fourth edition and fifth editions they have a little bit changes. So
Yeah.
I read it though, yeah, but I can share both editions at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So,
okay. So the first page number 394, the practice of English language teaching, page number 394, it's about the introduction, right? What do you mean by Lena autonomy? Who write about this one, blah, blah, blah. So we don't need to discuss that much. So now let's start with the first point, promoting autonomy. Promoting autonomy. So how do you understand this one? Let's start with Sia.
okay, so for promoting learner autonomy,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it's very simple. So it is trying to put the students into an environment that they can do their self-study. So I think so because of teachers they need to help the students to be an autonomous learner. Otherwise, they will just rely on the teachers forever. So the teacher they need to guide their students to do study on their own. Yes, so that's one.
Yeah, independent learner, right? Independent learning strategy. So, Teacher Kai, can you tell me one strategy that you like to promote the learner to depend on themselves? What can we do?
Teacher, the first I like most is allow students to choose the title, to choose the topic.
To choose a topic for what?
Yeah. Sometimes teacher allow their student. Okay, today share what shall we discuss about? So at that time, student comment their decision and their favorite topics. So at that time, their discussion more maybe more interactive.
Yeah, it can be more interactive and also they can have a chance to choose the topic they like, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because of our reading club, the electricity is not going on again. Okay, so what about Seattle Thing? Can you tell me the strategy that we can promote learner autonomy?
So to promote learner autonomy, so there are so many strategies, but I like to take off from my own experience. So my personal experience is first of all, so you have to go to self-assessment first, and then you have to do self-study, kind of reading books and listening to music, listening to an audio that's included in the book, and this is the only way to upgrade yourself. And then this my way how I improve my English skill. So yeah, I just have to upgrade myself because I love language. So first of all, students they need to know the value of the language. They are target their goals. Otherwise, they are just getting lost and they have no idea how to upgrade themselves. So I think the only way is to find their goals, what they want to do with their language, and then they need to reach that target. So to support that one, so by using those kind of, by using those kind of ideas about promoting the independent learners techniques. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So me also, right? I think I have shared some of my articles in here. I have experience, especially with my online teaching. Normally, I prepare the recorded video for my teachers. So for me, I share my video first, and then I give the task to read something. At that time, as we are human beings, what they usually do is like they choose the easier way, right?
Yeah.
Instead of finding the information on their own, they try to watch my video first. So my video is explained in Myanmar version, so it's very easy. And then they don't focus on reading anymore, and they just want to get the facts from the video collections only. That is not promoting learner autonomy, actually. I'm giving everything what they need. So if we are giving what they need, this is not a kind of learner autonomy, right?
Yes, yes. I think so. Doing the self study, like reading a book. So for example, it's a heavy book, a thick book. So it's a kind of it's so heavy and so so like it's like a so stress for you. So you have to read a lot. You have to do it on your own. So it's kind of pushing yourself to reach the target. It's a kind of autonomous learner, right?
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, teacher April.
I can hear your voice. Can you speak please loudly?
Okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay. I'm just speak closer, and that is the only way that you can hear, right? So now, can you hear me right now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Oh my God, what's happening with my audio?
Hello, Sayana and teacher April. Now we are on page number 395. 395. We are discussing the points on the practice of English language teaching, learner autonomy. Now we are just thinking about the strategy, the way we can promote our learner autonomy. So why don't we start with Sayana again? Because the other two teachers, they have already discussed.
Yeah,
can you tell me your own way of promoting learner autonomy? Excuse me, Sia, you are muted a little bit and we can hear well.
Hello, teacher.
Yeah. Can you tell me your own strategy of promoting learner autonomy?
Yeah, teacher. This morning when I read that passage, promoting autonomy, but actually I'm a kind of autonomy learner, but because I live in village, I have difficult to keep on my studying. I'm study from online or online class or something like that. And I keep on reading by myself, especially graded book or maybe some book that I like. So at that, before I read that passage, I don't know what kinds of student I am. But after reading that passage, oh, this is kinds of learner autonomy. Yeah, teacher.
Yeah.
Like that.
So instead of focusing on the teacher or instead of focusing on somebody, you try to learn it on your own way, right? Self-paced learning. Kind of self-paced learning.
Yeah,
I thought that you got so many certificates and diplomas from online, right? Like Future Learn and also Canvas.net or things like that. Yeah, for those things, we need to take time on our own way, right? We don't need to depend on any other people. Thank you, Sia. So what about teacher April? Can you share your strategy of learning autonomy?
Yeah, we have to do some of the activity. We have to create the activity to be our student to be autonomous. Like that, we can give a lot of homework.
Are you talking about me?
Thank you. We have to, for example, reading. We have to create some of the games or activity to stem bind themselves, like the digital reading or something like that, and then they have to do their text themselves. So in this way, they will be autonomous. I think so. I've already read these passages, but I'm already forgot.
Yeah, it has been over a week, right? So on page number 396 also, right, they are trying to differentiate between learner training and learner autonomy. So how do you understand the term learner training? Learner training. Anyone want to discuss that? Learner training. How are we going to train our learners? Shall we start with the Adolphine?
Okay, yeah. Okay, you can, okay, I'll just kick it off. That's topic. So for how to train the learner, it is a kind of, have to show the ways to to develop their kind of their skills, especially. So for example, like a kind of giving a techniques, especially. So we have to kind of support the learners to, for example, reading tips or reading skills or listening skills. So those kind of things, I think we have to give such a kinds of training tips for the students to develop to be an autonomous learner. And then I think so, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the strategy, right? For example, if we are going to teach about reading, at the time when we see the reading passage and the task type, we have to be able to identify, right? This is very important for teaching IELTS or teaching Cambridge exam like KET, PET level. At that time, if we don't know the sub-skill strategy, we can't train them very well. For example, if we know that it's a kind of scanning one, and then how are we going to train them? We should have the focus, right? The question type is like scanning strategy, and then we ask our students to read everything in detail. At that time, it doesn't work. It's a kind of time-consuming one. So we should know the learner training, how we are going to train our learners according to the exam types and also according to their learning styles. Learner training and learning styles are not the same, right? Learning styles you have already learned, like auditory, visual, kinesthetic, blah, blah, blah. There are so many types. But learner training is like based on the way we train, depending on their learning style, and also depending on their, how to say, perceptions. Which way do they remember the word more? Okay, let me interview Teacher April first. Teacher April, how do you try to usually remember the vocabulary, English vocabulary? For me, I will tell my experience first. For me, if somebody tells me I can remember it very well, how I can remember is like when I get a new word of English or new phrase of English, I need to note it down. And then when I note it down also, I don't want to note down like the meaning only. I'm a crazy of IPA. So I try to find the phonetic symbol in dictionary and then I note down every point. And I'm interested in learning preposition as well, usage. For example, for this word, interested, which preposition should I follow? I note down every single point in detail. In this way, I can remember something better. But for some other people, they are not like that. What about you, teacher? How do you try to remember the vocabulary item?
So firstly, I also like you just note down. I like one of the when I read some of the book, I like one of the how can I say phrase or vocab or something like that. Firstly, I will note down. After that, I teach in my I create the exercise or note or something like that, and then I teach my student again. So in this way, I teach them time and again. At the time, I will remember back. I'm always remember my like this.
Oh, it's also a kind of good strategy, right? You share your knowledge to the other people and then it can make you remember better.
Yeah.
Nice, teacher. And what about teacher Kai? How's your learning strategy?
Yeah. As for me, whatever I study new vocabulary, I always note down in my notebook, but I forgot for many later. So at that time, I try many things to remember. Stick on the wall or stick whatever I can see, but I don't remember. But one way that I remember is applying in reality. Whatever. Yeah. You told me I am auditory learner because to remember something I can speak of. Speaking away is maybe easily for me to remember. Yeah.
Okay, that's why you try to participate in reading club, right? To remember what you have read.
Yeah.
Okay, So what about Sianai?
Yeah, for me, teacher, I'm also like teacher kind. So I have ever note down, and then sometimes I write a journal. But maybe when I have attended in American Center, the teacher trained me like the learner training. At the time, we have to write a journal. At the time, from that time, I'm trying to write a journal, and I note that down. I write journal, and also I use those vocabulary when I write a diary. So, but the thing I noted that is I forgot everything. It's not very effective for me. So the effective way is when I meet my friend or when I take my friend to speak each other. At the time, I use it again and again. At the time, I remember. One way is exposure with my friend. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. And what about the Dolphin?
Okay, so for my learning strategies, first of all, I just trying to write down the words, so just trying to be familiar that words. And the next one is I'm trying to paraphrase that words, instead of directly taken from the dictionary, I just trying to paraphrase. So when I read the learning books, and so when I read one or two sentences, I just don't read it. I just trying to paraphrase it on my own. So it's the only way you can absorb that one. And then by the way, when I just read it, and when I encounter that new words for me, and then I just take it up quickly and I just trying to use it. So when I'm going to speak, so it's the only way to improve my learning strategies, and also trying to revise the vocabulary not every day, because right now I've no chance to revise the vocabulary because I've been busy with my student staff. They just keep doing those things. Yeah. So yes.
Okay, so this is Lena strategy, right? So you can also see some examples on page number 397 and 398. They include different types of Lena strategy with examples, sometimes note-taking also. You can also train them. And sometimes, for some students, they don't get notice of themselves. Which way is the best way for them to remember the thing? They don't really know that. Only when we show one thing after another, they can get to know about those things very well. For example, note-taking skill, right? I have found that one of my students, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I trained my students with different types of kinesthetic activity for reading. So for me, I'm not a kind of like, how to say, calm type. I like movement activities a lot. So because of my influence type, I usually try to put those kinds of activity in my teaching. But the student cannot absorb what I am teaching. I didn't get noticed that one. So one day I try to use note-taking strategy. When they read this one, I show them like, okay, if you're reading this one like this, instead of reading the whole thing, you can try to make it just like this. I show them like strategy instead of noting down everything. So starting from that day, the student comes to know about that one. Oh, it's really effective for him because he didn't actually know his way of learning strategy. Sometimes we have to show the way to them. In this way, they can get familiar and they can try to apply it back in real life. We have to be careful, right? Sometimes because of the influence of our character, we put those activities a lot in. Our students may not be okay with that.
Yeah. Yes.
So you can see taking out strategy also, they have mentioned in here. And on page 400, you can see learning journals. Have you ever tried learning journals with your student? It's really interesting. Learning journal.
So for me, for learning journal, I think for my students, it's kind of hopeless things for my students because of, even though I talk about the benefits of, writing or having a, journal, so that can improve their skill. But right now I have got one idea. It's kind of recording their video when they are just doing activity. So starting from the first day, I will just record until the end of the course. And then I was just trying to compare their skills. I think this is the only way. So for the journalists, they might be lazy or boring to do this activity, right? So instead of doing this, so I just trying to record what they are doing, and then I just trying to show what their weakness and strengths. And this is the only way to improve their skill. What I understand about that one. So instead of keeping the journal, so yes, oh my God, yeah.
Okay. So what about the other teachers? How's your opinion?
Yeah, for me, maybe it's kind of journey, but not totally the same because whenever I touch maybe kinds of some vocabulary about the holiday or maybe something, maybe at the end of this unit, I'm trying. I ask them to write down to prepare for a holiday or maybe at
Mm-hmm.
the holiday that you spent in last year or something like that. At that time, they have to. I ask them. They have to use the vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So the vocabulary, and also when they present, also they also have to use that vocabulary. In this way, I'm trying it, Chef. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, this is also a good way, right?
yeah,
I have found such kind of method in one of my senior teachers when I worked as an on-job training teacher, maybe like over 10 years ago. At that time, I didn't know any teaching method yet. I learned a lot from her, and she is very creative. So what she tries like in her classroom, she put a wall chart. On that chart, the students, for example, today they learn about five vocabulary or five grammar points. At that time, they have to go and write on the chart. Every time, every day, the students come to the rooms. Maybe some students are coming here early, 10 minutes or 15 minutes earlier. At that time, the teacher tries to approach the student and then, okay, choose one and talk about that. So, for example, they learn about get dressed today. At that time, they have, oh, teacher, I'm trying to get dressed, blah, 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 blah. They have to make use of it every time. So sometimes, the students really enjoy doing it with the teachers alone. They want the personal space because in the class time, there are a lot of people and they did not do that one. But with the teacher, they really want to do it. And sometimes, some students, they come to school very early on purpose. They want them to be asked by the teacher. So they come to school very early and then they discuss together about vocabulary and words. After one semester finished, so there are so many words on the wall chart and it's a kind of portfolio for them. So I think it's really nice and effective way. You can also try it if you want.
yeah. Did they call portfolio?
Yeah, kind of right because it's a kind of collection, right? Collection from the first semester until the end. A kind of portfolio.
Yeah,
Portfolio does not mean the how to say document only, right? Sometimes we can collect the vocabulary items, grammar items, what we learned throughout the course. And what about the other two teachers? How's your opinion on that?
I mean the channel.
Yeah, learning journals. Have you ever tried as a teacher or as a student?
Yeah, actually, I have never know about that journal.
Mhm.
The first after reading this book, I noticed that there is a good habit for the students to be autonomous. So I think that I will support them to write a journal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you will try one day, right? Okay, great. For yourself also you can try it, right? It can improve you a lot. For example, after you have watched my glossary wall, you can take a note or things like that. Okay, and what about the Czech High? How's your
Yeah,
opinion?
teacher. Teacher, actually, I don't know about genre writing, but I have taught essay and letter for matriculation student.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, uh, they can whatever this time they don't have ideas to write about that. But
Mm-hmm.
I every week I train to come out their idea whatever they like, um, free writing,
Mm-hmm.
at first and before they are writing. So at that time, I see I see their improvement about their ideas, and then as for me, I can when I read their essay and letter, I can notice how they are feeling, right now, and how they are need what they wants to know me, and they are weak. I noticed their weakness. Next time, I support send ideas and send general knowledge about that.
Mm-hmm.
So next time again and again I train them so they can write down their own essay and letter.
Mm-hmm.
But actually I don't know journal writings exactly. I know about only essay and letter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay. It's also a kind of good habit, right? Now let's try like this. So I want you to think about some strategies which can promote learner autonomy and which cannot promote learner autonomy. Okay, you can mix the idea of teaching online and teaching in-person class. Mix both of the ideas. Don't choose for in-person class only. Online class also you can think about it, which can promote learner autonomy and which cannot promote learner autonomy. My purpose is, for example, if I say something, the people who are watching our live, they have to answer back, yes or no. For example, copying something from the whiteboard. Copying something from the whiteboard. Is it a kind of promoting learner autonomy or not promoting learner autonomy? If it is yes, they can answer why. If it is no, they can answer and only. Like that. To be able to act like that, you can think about some strategies for teaching online, teaching in-person class. Okay, so I'll count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we are going to start asking one after another. Those who are watching our live, you can also answer the question. Learner autonomy or not promoting learner autonomy. Let me count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? For each of you, I want you to think about 6 points each. 3 should be promoting learner autonomy and 3 should be not promoting learner autonomy. 5.
Please wait. I just need to grab a pen and book. Oh my god. I just have to think quickly.
Okay. Those people who are watching, you need to answer yes or no, okay? Now they are doing preparation for that. 4. Three. Okay, while they're thinking, I will explain you a little bit back. Promoting learner autonomy. Promoting learner autonomy means the students, they are able to depend on themselves. Now, the teacher from here, they will start seeing some activities in which the students, they have to depend on themselves or they don't have to depend on themselves. For example, copying something from the whiteboard. The teacher writes some of the words on the whiteboard and you ask them to copy. So at that time, this is not an activity for promoting learner autonomy, right? In that case, you just need to answer why in comment. No, sorry, not why. And right, not promoting. If it is false, you just answer and. If it is true, you need to answer why. And another example is like, you ask your students to repeat after you. Repeat after you. You say something and all of your students say after you. Is it a kind of promoting learner autonomy or not promoting learner autonomy? Yes, thank you, teacher Disa and teacher Mimijin. You are correct. No, they don't have to depend on themselves, right? They have to depend on the teacher a lot. And then another activity is you give the word to your student. For example, hamburger, pizza, and then ice cream, biryani, different types of words, especially food vocabulary to your student. And then they have to make sentences on their own way. They have to make sentences on their own way. Is it a kind of promoting learner autonomy or not promoting learner autonomy? Can you answer yes or no? Why or and? Thanks for answering, teacher Tayamo and teacher Disa. Can you answer my next question? Teacher Disa answer yes. Only one. What about the other people? Teacher Kai Susu Kai, Kin Susu Kai, yes, okay. Of course, right? They have to use their own idea. The teacher just give the words and they have to write down their own words, write down their own sentence with the use of the words. So that's why the answer is yes. Okay. Learner autonomy. Promoting learner autonomy is they need to depend on themselves. Teacher Kim Jo, thank you, teacher. Teacher Tayamo, thank you, teacher. Your answers are correct. Okay, what about Sia Dolphin, teacher Kai, teacher April, Sia 9? Have you finished?
Yes.
Let's do like this. Instead of focusing on only one, for example, Sia Dolphin say one sentence, and the people who are watching our live, they will answer back. And then next one is teacher Kai, only one. And then teacher April, teacher Sia 9. And then we will go with another round, Sia Dolphin, blah, 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 like that. One person don't need to say everything continuously. Okay, can we start?
Yes.
Who wants to start?
Okay, just go first.
Okay, please listen to Sia Dolphin and answer Y or N.
Okay, so I would like to give a lesson plan. So first of all, so for the 2 lessons, I teach my students about the grammar, so present simple and how to make the present simple questions. So I teach them. But on the other, so for the next day, I don't teach them about the how much and how many countable and uncountable now. I just look at them the grammar reference. So at the back of the book, and then I just read them. So how do they understand about that one? And they have to explain to me on the other day. So this is about my homework for them to read the grammar reference. And they have to explain me in details about the grammar, how do they understand, and they can provide more details what they know about that one. So this kind of techniques. So is this like a kind of promoting autonomy learners or not promoting?
Y or N. And 3 teachers also, you can think about it together, the answer. Teacher April, teacher Kai, Sia 9, how do you think about his answer?
Promoting.
Why? Yes.
Promoting. Yes.
Only learner.
Promote.
Really?
Yes.
Because students have to explain in detail.
Uh-huh.
So he asked to student by their sex to study by their sex. Yeah, that's fine. Promoting.
Okay, so for those people who are watching as well, you can just give your own opinion. Let's wait a little bit. Sometimes live session and Zoom session, we need to take time a little bit. Okay, thank you, teacher. Your answers are also correct. Yes, right? Reference. The teacher is not explaining any grammar points. The students have to look at the grammar reference and explain something. Thank you, teacher. Your answers are correct. Okay, another one. Who will ask?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, sometimes teachers students are boring to concentrate on my teaching. At the time, I give them maybe difficult vocabulary. Yeah, very difficult vocabulary. Maybe around about 5 vocabulary, and they have to go to the Google find their sex. Yeah. So like that. Yeah, like that. So this is promoting learner autonomy or not promoting learner autonomy.
Oh, you get 5 difficult words, right?
Yeah, very difficult word. Actually 5 words. Yeah, they are get boring on my teaching. They cannot concentrate on me. At the time, I ask them to find that vocabulary in their Google or in online class. Yeah, for online class.
Okay. So is it promoting or not promoting? Y or N?
So from my point of view, why? I would say why.
Really? Why do you think so?
100% sure. Yes.
Why do you think so?
Course of, so giving a 5 difficult words and teachers, so he or she doesn't give any explanation about that word or definitions about that one. So students, they have to rely on themselves to go to dictionary and find the definition of that word. So I think it's promoting the autonomous learner, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. The teacher is using reference resources, right? Reference resources from outside, maybe website or dictionary or Googling or things like that. Okay. Your answers are correct. Okay, thank you, teachers. So next question. Those people who are watching, you may also answer Y or N by listening to the speaker.
Okay, teacher, I will tell you. We ask a question. I will show the flashcard, several flashcard, maybe 7 or 6, and then 1, 1, 7, and then the student have to create the story themselves. One by one, after one by one. Yeah, the first, for example, teacher Kai have to create the one of the flashcard, and then he have to make a sign at herself. And then next flashcard, and next flashcard, next teacher have to connect this flashcard, and then do like this. So,
Connect the
click?
flashcard.
Yeah, no. For example, I will show the several flashcard, maybe 6 or 7. But students have to create each other for only one flashcard. For example, the first flashcard for the teacher Kai. So teacher Kai have to, I will show the one of the forestly at the time. She would, once upon a time, there was the deep forest or something, blah, blah, blah. And then next flashcard is, there's a, for example, prince and princess and meet each other. At the time, next teacher, for example, teacher Nile have to connect first and second flashcard like this.
Ah, yeah. Connect the ideas together.
Yeah.
It's
So-
like creative story, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it
So-
is a promote learner or not promoting learner autonomy.
You can just say Y or N in comment. Let's wait for a while. It's also a good idea, right? You can also teach online as well with this idea.
Yes.
I mean, I have never tried it with with the flashcard. I have tried with a word only.
Oh yeah.
For example, I asked Adolphe, okay, just say one word you like. Teacher Kai say one word. Teacher April say one word. Sienna say one word. And then I asked my students to use to make a story with the use of all those 4 words. A little bit similar, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for your answers, teacher Tisan, teacher Mimitin, teacher Tayamo. Your answers are correct. Promoting learner autonomy, right? Sia?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So what about another teacher?
Yeah, teacher. I ask my student to choose one now. To choose one now, as you like. Whatever they like, they think and keep in themselves. And then I play the music. I play the music and shooting the ball. So when I stop music, the person who had the ball stand up and they has to talk about the topics that he chose that he chose about one now. Whatever they like, they can. And after Ashley, I has to give time 1 minute. 1 minute, and next time, and after that, and I played again, and this activity, I played this activity. The target is to talk about the now freely. Within 1 minute, they has to talk about the related about the topics.
Okay, so is it Y or N? You can just say it. What about the other 3 teachers? How do you think about that?
Why?
Yeah, I think it's a bit wide.
You like wine a lot. In cold weather, you like to drink wine.
Why? Yeah. I think it's not cool, and it's not cool right now. It's getting hot.
Yeah. Only in the morning, right? Only in the early morning. It's a little bit. Okay, so this time, don't choose the same thing. For example, if one teacher choose like wine, the other teacher choose wine. At the time, the answer is easy to guess, right? This time, let's go randomly or a little bit not randomly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with teacher April this time.
Okay. Teacher explain every time and again or whenever student ask some of the problem or difficulty. That is promoting or not promoting learner autonomy.
Okay, so you can answer Y or N. Thanks for your answers, teacher. Can you repeat a little bit?
Yeah. Teacher, explain. Whenever student asks some of the question or difficulty time and again.
Mhm.
That's it.
Is it Y or N?
Yeah, it's good without saying because teacher shouldn't notice. We all shouldn't say why. That's why you maybe.
You're so clever.
Yeah. We should answer opposite,
Yes, right?
right? Yeah, we should answer opposite answer. We should opposite answer.
Okay, thanks for your answers, teacher. Okay, you are correct. This is not right, not. So in that case, here also right on page number 402 as well, they are talking about the role of the teacher. So teacher April said the teacher always explain whenever the students don't understand something. At that time, which role is she taking? Is he or she taking the teacher? What type of role?
Can I answer?
Teacher,
Anyone?
Language.
I think involver.
Involver? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Language results.
Yeah. Teacher, I read the first student and teacher rule. I can as a student, I can the speakers to correct them while their conversation. They have difficulty or they didn't know something. So at that time, they are willing to ask their teacher.
Yeah.
So this point is maybe autonomy because they have their own they have desires to add the speaker,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Of
teacher?
course, of course. Especially for those people who don't really want to listen to you. At that time, instead of teaching like you have your own lesson plan to teach from number 1 to number 10, and then you are coming to the room and then you start explaining, oh, today I have to teach from number 1 to number 10, whether they know or not know, already know or not, it doesn't matter. My duty is to teach. At that time, you start explaining number 1 to number 10 in detail. Because you know that, right? Oh, I have to follow my lesson plan. This is according to my curriculum. I have to teach. I don't need to care about my students. And then you start teaching one thing after another. At that time, autonomous learner, they don't really like it because you're explaining too much. Maybe
Yeah.
out of 10, they might have already know 4 things or 5 things. At the
Yeah.
time, it's a kind of time consuming, right? You explain and then you're trying to find out everything. So that's why the way you said is quite okay. Let them do something, and then you can take the role of the monitor. You can observe. Okay, this one they don't really know about that. In that case, you start explaining little by little. If they know, okay, you don't need to say anything. Just go to another group. If they don't know, help them a little bit. So what about teacher April? The one she said is like she explained a lot, right? Explain a lot for whatever the students say. In that sentence, which role is the teacher taking? Involver, not involver, right?
Language results.
A kind of language resourceful, right? You are resourceful, you know everything. That's why you're trying to give everything to your students. Explainer or maybe a kind of resource for your student. Okay, thank you, teacher. So the other teachers who are watching, you can also answer. We are talking too much. Another teacher, can you ask the question?
Who? Me?
Me?
Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Okay. Can we start? Can we see?
Can you only one? Can you not fully?
Yeah. Can I?
Of course.
Yes. Yes. Sometime. No. Once a week. The last day of the week, I always teach. Maybe some other idiom, maybe 5 idiom, or maybe in a dialogue. So I teach with the secretary. I show a paragraph or a dialogue, and then I ask the student to find some of the idiom, and I explain them. I explain that how we use that idiom and then I ask them to study by heart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So is it promoting learner autonomy or not? You can just say in comments. The other teachers also, you can think about it. Every week he explain, he teach 5 idioms
Yeah.
with a paragraph. And the students, they have to learn all the idioms by heart. Promoting learner autonomy or not promoting learner autonomy?
Not promoting learner autonomy.
Definitely not promoting. Yes.
Oh.
Why do you think so?
Yeah.
Because the teacher explaining the meaning of idiom.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, teacher should them to solve the meaning, looking at the dictionary or something results.
Yeah. So instead of giving by the direct explanations, you can ask them to do a job, right? Okay, thank you, teacher. Yeah, thanks for your answer. And not, thank you, teacher. Thank you, teacher Tayamo, teacher Kinza. Okay, so another one. Who want to ask?
How about me?
Of course.
Okay, so now I'm not teaching to elementary students right now. So I'm teaching the list of words, and then I just explain the meaning of that word. Okay, and then I just let them read out the pronunciation of that word. So their pronunciation is correct or not. I just want to check it out, and then if they make some kinds of pronunciation errors or mistakes about some words at the time, I just try to note it down, and then after reading out all of those lists, and then I just teach them which was that should have pronounced in that way or that should have pronounced in that way. So I just trying to show the way how to pronounce that words, that the one they make mistakes. So which techniques am I using right now? Am I promoting the learner's autonomy? Or am I not promoting learner autonomy?
So, how do you think?
No.
Do I need to explain again?
No, not. I think not promoting.
So teacher Ibrasu is, okay, I'll explain again. Okay.
In a short way.
Okay.
Shorter the better.
I can see your eyes. Your eyes is looking down. So it means you are just thinking about it,
Maybe,
Okay, so,
That I'm thinking about my question.
yes, yes. I see.
she can concentrate on what you say. She just concentrate to my next sentence.
Okay, so I will just repeat that one. So so I'm not teaching to elementary learners, and then I just give them a list of words, maybe 10 words, okay? And then I teach the meaning of that words, I teach the definition of that words, and afterwards I just, I didn't teach the pronunciation, I just let them read out those words, if their pronunciations are correct or not. I just want to watch it out. And then afterwards, when I notice some mistakes, so in some pronunciation points, they make some mistakes. So at the time, I just note it down. So which errors do they have? So I just have to fix it up. So after they just all read out those 10 words, and then I just trying to find out, so which points did they make mistakes? And I just trying to teach, I just trying to show them, so you need to pronounce in that way. So you have to pronounce in that way. So am I promoting or am I not promoting?
You are not promoting learner autonomy. Not.
No.
Okay, not.
Not.
Because you already explained.
Okay.
The answer is in the question.
Yeah. It is simple, right? Yeah.
Okay, so next one. Who is going to be the next? We will ask 3 more questions. After 3 more questions finished, we will move to another section. Okay,
Yes.
I'll do 3 more. Okay, bro, I think you're thinking, right? Yeah.
I will teach my student one of the dialogue. For example, speaker A and speaker B. Firstly, before I teach them, I take a role of two speakers, also speaker A also and speaker B. At the time, my student have to listen my demonstration. After that, 1 or 2 times. After that, they have to take a role. After me, for example, repeat after me. They have to correct. For example, I'm speaker A. How are you? At the time, they have to Corel after me. How are you? And then speaker B is I am fine, like that, something like that. And then after that, we have to practice teacher and students. I'm a speaker A and you are speaker B. Time it again like this. This activity is promote learner autonomy or not promoting learner autonomy.
This, okay. I just have to be silent. Okay, some teachers answer.
Okay, so how's your opinion? Is it promoting or not promoting?
It's not promoting.
Yeah, the student depend on teachers telling. Yeah, not promoting.
I use
Yeah,
audio
not
level.
promoting.
Okay, so to have the learner autonomy skill, we can also try to create different types of activities, right? It depends on the teacher as well. We have to pave the way to them to make use of it or to depend on themselves. Sometimes they are too much depending on us if we are paying attention to them a lot. Okay, so only 2 more questions left. 2 more questions.
So, yeah, teacher Kai. Yeah.
Yes, teacher. I have my student to listen the audio, to listen the audio, and first time I store it, and I add them to I generate idea, generate sorry generate how can I say about generate idea about the topics. What about this? What they were hearing? What about this?
Mhm.
First I add them. As next time I play again.
Mhm.
Listen for specific information. Who, why, where. And then the last time I add again in detail. So this activity maybe promoting or not promoting.
I think not promoting.
Why? Why you so like it?
Because according the audio, student have to do according the audio. The first time, student think about only the how can I say sound or something like that. Just only for the chisel listening. Next one is for the scan specific for information. Maybe there is a gut feeling or something like that. It's also according for the audio, and the next detail also teacher have to explain it
Mhm.
only according to the audio. That's why I think that it is not promoting.
In my opinion, they may be promoting because teacher for student to focus on their listening. So they have to find the answer for any question, for some question by their teacher. So they have to try for that to get the answer.
How do they teacher?
So there are 2 teachers.
I think reading I accept reading exposure, but listening exposure is they don't have a chance to look at audio transcript. So this is they has to take responsibility the whole activity, right?
They can find the other results.
We did the debate session.
Can I see the point where you're coming from, teacher Kai? So you said it's about listening task, right? Listening activity.
Yeah.
Okay, so before doing listening activity, so you just brainstorm the students what they are going to listen, and so you just have a list of questions. You know what you have to guess what answers might appear from the audio, right? So we have to guess it. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I only present my opinions. I know debate that.
It's fine. It's fine. We are not debating. We are just negotiating, right? We're not just negotiating to reach the answer. Yes.
Actually, she is trying to do different types of listening skill strategies. So she wants to ask like skimming, scanning, detail. Are they doing for promoting learner autonomy or not?
Yeah, just promoting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Really?
No. I
It's
did
just
not
for the
promote.
skills,
Not
skills.
promoting because every activity depend on teacher
Mm-hmm.
and not depend on result because student have to just only listen to the audio and yeah the student have follow according to the teacher instruction, so they don't do anything by their sex. For example, actually at the end of their this session, so if you ask maybe if you give the some kinds of website to practice the listening skill or something like that, if so it's a kind of promoting learner at and autonomy attitude. Autonomy promoting. Oh my god.
Okay, so this,
Yeah.
yeah, what I was thinking about is there are two different types about that one because you know, so for the skills, so it might be two different types of tools. For example, so for the first time, so students they don't know about, for example, listening for specific information skill, so they don't know about this one. So at the time, teachers they need to teach. So at the time, students they are not going to be autonomous learners, right? So but for the next lesson, for the next one, so the task is listening for specific information again, but this time teachers not going to teach it. So you have to apply that skills that what I taught to you. So yes, I think in that way it's kind of promoting autonomous learner, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that I understand is promoting learner autonomy is just depend on the result, not only depend on teacher and only maybe the task book or something like that. So if we want to promote our learner to be promote to be autonomy, yeah, to be autonomy, we have to give some kinds of result like a website or maybe if for example just now I have a very difficult to teach my reading class because most of my students are really autonomy student, so they don't want to follow what I say, so they don't want to follow. Oh yeah, I think just now my post is as you know Maswell, I want to my aim is my teacher is not for reading skill, it's just for idea or maybe a leadership skill like that. But they don't want to follow. They don't want to listen what I say. They want to read and they want to discuss. So they complain me. They have ever complain me. So and also they want to speak a lot. At the time, I have no time to listen what they are speaking ever. So that's why I said then to download the wiki app or something like that. Yeah, you can practice in the wiki apps or yeah, like that. So I think so. This is kind of like the autonomy planner.
I think teacher April has some ideas. Can
Yeah.
you share your ideas, teacher?
Yeah, maybe attitude, reading promote state, maybe the promote learner autonomy. But the first three stages, no promoting learner autonomy.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Actually, developing the soft skills, the listening or reading, whatever it is, if we are asking them to do and to do according to their own opinion, this is not the, how to say, practice. This is not a kind of practicing learner autonomy. But for example, after they have listened to a song or after they have listened to a biography or things like that, you can ask them attitude question. At the time, they can think about something on their own way, and then it can develop them, and it's really free. Nothing is, how do they say, limited with a framework. For example, scanning also, right, it has got a framework given by the teacher. Scanning, skimming, those strategies must be given by the teacher first. The teacher will train like, okay, so read this one in 3 minutes very quickly, and then tell me the general idea. The teacher give the training, right, strategy. According to the teacher's strategy, the students will be able to say the answer back, skimming, scanning in detail. But for attitude question, it's not like that. For attitude question, it's like after they have listened or after they have read about something, they just have to give their own opinion freely, and they can even extend their idea. Okay, no more debate. So I'm really interested in what Siana is saying as well. So three other teachers, can you support him a little bit with some excellent ideas? He wants to give some ideas to your students based on reading club, right? You want to improve their develop their thinking skill, right? Not reading skill, thinking skill.
Yeah,
Is that
che.
right?
Not yet, che. Not skill for IS or not reading skill. Yeah, I'm sure. Just for thinking skill, maybe I want them to get some knowledge for kinds of
Personal
philosophy.
development.
Yeah, che.
Personal development.
Like that. Yeah.
So if you meet such kind of learners, how will you do? Three other teachers? How
Okay.
will you establish?
Yes, I have a bright idea about that one. So I'm really interested that one teacher that Yasia and I also mentioned about that one. It's really interesting and intriguing for me.
Yeah.
So first of all, what I'd like to say is I would like to read the students on their own. So first of all, I'd like to do this one. And then also when it's time to see maybe in a classroom or on virtual class, so at the time, what I would like to do is I just let them know. I just let them write down on their maybe on their boards or on their screen that what they understand about that one. So I just let them write their own ideas. So what do you understand about that one? So so step by step, like individually. So afterwards, what I like to tell is like, can you please explain about that one? So why do you want to give that idea? So how do you understand about that one? So can you please relate that one with your own personal experience? Do you have that experience? Because of most students, they left really talking about their own experience. So this is the interesting point, right?
Yeah.
So what I understand, even though if I am a student, if I have a chance to talk about my own experience, I can talk, without stopping. So it's about so I understand about the speaking. So, but some students, they are really afraid of talking about their own experience. So, they're just like a kind of changing the topic in that way. So trying to relate what their ideas and their own experience. And then afterwards, if teachers that he wants to participate in that discussion, at the time, teacher, he can share his own experience as well. So at the time, students will listen. Instead of explaining about the reading the paragraphs in details, it's why when you participate, yourself just sharing your own experience and how do you feel about that one, and then you will share you will share like a sympathy or sympathize with your students. So how do you understand about that feeling? So I think that would be the only way to engage with the students and teachers, and also students and students. Yes. So
yeah, it's a good idea, right? And the students also, they won't feel like, oh, teacher is a teacher. No, teacher is also a student. They also on the same boat as you.
Yeah.
They share their personal experience. Teacher also share their personal experience. While you're sharing your personal experience, if you want to talk or if you want to give them moral lesson about something, you can give them, not directly, indirectly, and consciously you can give them.
Yes. Yeah, I wish I could have those autonomous learner, but until right now, I don't have those kind of students. I want to do this one. My students, they are not willing to do this one. They just want to follow my, that first step by step. Oh my God! So I was in a pot boiling water.
That so they said openly to me. So teacher, why don't you explain detail? They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. Why I explain detail, and also they don't want to focus on grammar. So they just want to, understand roughly, and they just want concept. So they said to me, one student said to me, teacher, if you explain a lot of vocabulary, do you think we all are remember? They asked to be like that. So because of maybe after 2 days, when I look at their facial expression, I need to analyze how they feel. At the time, they said to me openly, yeah, just now, maybe I spent 3 sessions, maybe I talk only 20 minutes. The other minute, they talk each other, and sometimes in the breakout room, or sometimes they are discussing, they discuss bindings.
Generation gap as well, right? Generation gap. When we were young, our teacher used to explain like this, and we were very happy, right? Teacher explain everything in detail, and we like to note down. But nowadays, the kids who were born after 2000, generation gap, so the gap is like quite big. So it's not very okay for us. it's
Yeah.
better to promote the autonomy more
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
Even though we are training for reading, for example, now we have like 2 hours period in reading club, right?
Mhm.
Instead of discussing like this, I take out some ELD terms from Lena Autonomy chapter. I take out all the words and I explain you, okay, Lena training means blah, 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 blah. So Lena trainings and learning strategy, they are too much different, blah, blah, blah. If I say like this, no, nobody will be left.
Yeah.
And also your generation, around 25, 35, around that generation, those people also, they dare not, how to say, show
Yeah.
off their face on
Yeah.
live section or things like that. So
Yeah.
at that time also now see only a few people here, they are afraid to speak out or things like that. But nowadays generation, if you try this technique together with your students, it will be quite successful.
Yeah.
Nowadays kids, they really like it and they feel like it's a kind of motivating activity. If I have to teach the teenagers, I will do this activity a lot. But now I have to meet so many teachers, right? Because of the generation, sometimes we have to think about the learning style and also learner training in kind of generation gap.
Yeah.
I also like the way you said somebody is explaining me and I have to note down everything. Oh, I like this method a lot. Kind of conformist, right?
Today, one of my students taught to me. So when I asked them, so today is the powers of focusing. I really like that topic, Jay. But how many points do you want to give? So when I asked them, one student replied to me, so teacher, say I want to give only 4 points. Why? So this is no strength for me. Like that. Teacher, Maxwell, this is Maxwell said, right? But no strength for me, Sia. I have ever read that kinds of literature or like that. So even though they just part last year, metric exam. So but they reply,
Something
I
like
don't
that.
want to, yeah, this is no strength for me, Sia. Like that.
Of course, this is because of their age. Yeah, they will say like that. They don't feel impressed with
I
John
really like it.
or anybody.
Yeah.
They won't feel impressed with anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think teacher April, so her connection is lost. Okay, so what about teacher Kai? How do you think about that? Sia Dolphin's idea and Sia Nine's idea.
Great. Great.
Great, just great.
Fantastic, right?
Teacher, why I'm listening to their teaching method, I suddenly come to the top my university student life. When in my university life, I learned a poem. I study a poem as a subject. So whatever we read the poem, my teacher asked to think a lot. What do you think about from their writer view or for their reader view or something like that? So this may be a good idea for thinking skill by teaching a poem. Poem exposure may be good because my friend I always argue with that before before giving handout for my teacher. I think the other are willing to do. Oh no, she is arguing me, not like that. Sometimes the poem are not how to say exactly point.
Of course.
They are asking to think for the audience. So they may improve thinking skill by the poem.
Of course. Literature has so many points to think, right? There are so many ways, point of views, and the way we think and the way the other people think can be varied as well. Okay, so actually, CR9 start talking about SAC, right? It's on page number 403, Self-Assess Center. I think it's a little bit similar to Reading Club, right? Self-Assess Center. Have you ever seen Self-Assess Center?
Yes.
Where?
British Council.
Yeah, British Council and American Center, right? They have like SAC. So in SAC, what can we do normally?
You can read, you can listen to an audio, and then you can practice what you want to, in which skill do you want to improve. Yes.
Mhm. So it's a kind of extensive reading or listening skill, right? We can also train our students in that way. So do you have a wish to open a SAC of your own? Self-assessment. One day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah.
No, I don't mean a language school because there are so many language schools nowadays, but there aren't a lot of self-assessment center. But in some of the villages, they have like go sa jidai or things like that. But I don't think they have like SAM systems yet.
Yeah, but actually, if I can, I want to today. I got an idea. Not only English public speaking skill, but I want to open Myanmar public speaking skill.
Of course.
Yeah, I want to open because today the thing that I do is my students suggest to me they want to speak in Myanmar, not in English, but our people. Most of our people are very poor in public speaking skill. Not I don't want to mean not English. Yeah, not English. Yeah, just they stay poor in Myanmar.
Of
So
course.
that's why they are afraid to. Yeah, they are afraid to, stand up in front of the people, and they hardly make the question to the exclusive people or like that. Yeah. So my idea is to open my public speaking skill. Yeah, and also if I have much money, I want to open kinds of very big library at the British Council, and I want to treat maybe coffee or something like that, and then maybe under 13, under 24, or like that. So yeah, I want them to have a good speaker. Yeah, good speaker.
But in SAC, I think we should have some activities as well, right? Because I have found so many libraries. They have the books and audio centers, but they aren't a lot of activities. That's why most of the people are not willing to do anything. But in British Council and American Center, they have like so many activities. They even have like volunteering club or things like that. So at the time, people are eager to join that one. They can feel like, oh, they are a part of it, and they feel really eager to join this, and they come and work every week. And sometimes in American Center, as you have known, there are so many reading club and then public speaking club or things like that. I think we should have some things when we are preparing for SAC. How do you think? The other teachers? Do you have a wish to open an SAC on your own?
Definitely, I do have that, first of all, we just have to upgrade ourselves, we just have to have the full weapons on ourselves to build those kind of SAC centers. Yeah.
Don't wait.
Yes.
Getting and doing something should be like upgrading both of them should be together. If not, it won't be okay, right? Don't wait. One day it should be like after 2 years or 3 years. It must be like that.
Not later.
Not later.
So how about teacher Nai, teacher CR9? So we can cooperate together, right? So we can that's cool. Yeah.
I get that kinds of ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I have to establish a foundation for that. But I don't think by having a building and the sort of audio CDs and books, it's not enough. We should have the members to do something, organize an event or organize a club or things like that. We need so many volunteers in the future.
Yes, I think it's providing a good opportunity for the volunteers. So,
Yeah, and especially for younger generations, right?
Yeah.
Maybe for those who are attending university, they can have like part-time job. And then when they apply for the scholarship, we can give them like a recommendation letter for their scholar or things like that. And we can also get the help from them, and they also get some benefits from it. So it's a kind of win-win situation.
Yeah.
And what about two teachers? How do you think? Teacher Kai and Teacher April?
Teacher, actually, I don't really know about this SAC. That's why I request you. You should explain about the SAC in glossary break.
So now,
By the way, teacher, page number 399, taking over. I don't know exactly what is mean here. Taking over.
Yeah, me too.
Page
control,
number 3.
controlling.
Controlling.
Take over their own learning. I mean, they have to control their own learning, not by the teacher or not by the other people. They have to take over. Self-paced learning.
Teacher, I want to ask you something. What about the agency? I don't know about the agency. I think it is one of the theology.
I just know agents.
Agency.
I just know the agent.
Agency is a kind of cooperation in here, right? So sometimes if we want our students to promote their autonomy, we can ask them to work alone, or sometimes they can also cooperate with the other people. They get the idea from other people, share together and learn together instead of getting directly from the teacher. That is also kind of promoting learner autonomy, cooperation. So can any one of you explain SAC? Because I don't want to get this word to glossary later. Maybe teacher Kai or Sia Dolphin or Sia Nai. Teacher, actually you know it, you forget it, maybe.
Okay, so CNI or teacher Kai, would you like to present, or if you don't mind, I would like to. So yes, I'm just requesting, yes.
No.
No.
Lady first.
Pretty fast.
Okay. Lady first.
Or teacher Kai, if okay,
You
so
will be better.
okay, I might be better.
Yeah, you might be better because you are senior.
You are senior.
Not really, not really.
Teacher, yeah.
Not really. So for the self-assess center, so I have no ideas about that. Many of that was before attending the British Council. So at the British Council, teachers told me you have to go to SAC. You have to go to SAC to improve your skill. So what does it mean, teacher SAC? So I was just thinking about it, So it's downstairs. You have to go to library, and we call it a self-assess center. Really? Okay. So and then I just have to acquire. I just have to learn from the teachers, and then I have to go straight away to the library, and I started using those things. So, but first of all, so you have to read the books, and you have to do such study grammar, and you have kind of trying to improve your skill. It's kind of you are just promoting your autonomy skills, and afterwards and then maybe some kinds of CDs or some kinds of audiobooks or some kinds of graded readers book they will provide for you. So for example, A1, A2 level. So which levels are you at? And you have to read it to improve your skill. So it's kind of, you have to do it on your own. So there will be no more person to do this one. There will be no more person to push you. So you have to do this, you have to do that. There will be no more person for you. So you have to do it on your own. So yes, for a self-assess center. And there can be some kinds of, so there might be some, videos on audios, and you can go and upstairs and you can listen to it. So yes, we call it a self-assess center, and they provide the computers for you if you don't have. So you can go to Google and search what you want to get, Yes.
Yeah.
So we can say SAC means a library.
So
I know.
yeah.
I know, like,
The way
yeah. So it's a terminology term. So they are not going to say directly. They will say self-assess center.
I noticed about that. It is academic writing. Am I right? Academic writing. That's why.
We are reading academic writing, actually, teachers. This is form error.
Okay.
It's C1, C2 level. Oh my God,
And also, if you are really interested in establishing your own self-assess center, you can have the characteristics of it, right? On page number 404 and 405, characteristics of a good self-assess center. So classification system is like Saya said, right? A1 level, A2 level, according to the level. How do we arrange it? And then for the audio as well, a kind of romance or thriller or something like that, different types of portions, we can classify it.
So
yes.
Let me suggest one thing is, so if you want to set up your own self-assess centers, first of all, you need to get an experience you have to work at a library, kind of British Council or American Center. They will teach you, how to arrange the books, and you have to read it by heart. It is very difficult. You have to read it by heart. You have to take the test, So in which row, which book is, have to put them in which row. So you have to read it by heart. It's difficult. But so yeah, so for that, one of my friends, he's a volunteer working at the library, and he said yes, it's very difficult. And then, but if you pass the exam, you will get 1 year free for the library assets. Yes.
It's also a good chance, right?
Yes. But it's just not paid internship. It's just a volunteer. So yeah.
Yeah, it's also a good one. And also another one, pathways. How do you understand pathways? The first one is classification system, and second one is pathways. So to have a good self-assessment center, we also have to consider the pathways. What is that? Hello.
Actually, I didn't finish it. I haven't finished it.
What I understand this one is like, for example, according to the students level, we have arranged it, right? A1, A2, A3, blah, 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 blah. But the students don't know which one should they start. We should have the framework, or we should have the pathway program for that. For example, we ask them, okay, what type of students are they? Primary student or secondary student? Okay, if you are the secondary student, you should start with those series of books. Maybe it has like different types of genres, and then they can start doing this one. For example, after they have finished for 20 books or 30 books, they can move to another level. Okay, after you have finished those things already, you can start borrowing this book, and then next one like that. Framework. If not, we have no guidance, right? Me also, I had got the same experience at British Council when I started going to British Council Library at the age of 16. As soon as I had finished my matriculation exam, at that time I didn't attend orientation section, and I didn't know what to choose and how to choose. So I thought, oh my God, so many books, and where can I start? I didn't really know that. So at that time, I tried to get the help from one of the assistants from library, and he explained me everything in detail. Okay, you just finished your matriculation exam, right? At that time, you should start going to this corner. You shouldn't go to professional development corner yet, because that one is more useful for graduated people, blah, 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 blah. Explain everything in detail, even though this is not the orientation section. So I think this is a kind of framework. 1 step, 2, 3, 4, 5. One step after another. Where can we go and how can we do? And what about next one? Next point, how do you think? Training students. Training students. Hello.
Stay silent.
You will establish your own self-assessment center, right? It's a must for knowledge. Training students.
Teacher.
Yeah.
In that session, student may be boring us because some student are relying on their teacher, and then they don't know what they do and how they do, and they may have some difficulty for technical error. And then teacher and assistant can help them and how to use computer or something like that. Another way is teacher has to do make a project, or make a some clear test, quiz or something like that. They have to search some information from some results. So they have clear target, so they may not be more self-assessed. Right?
Yeah, kind of. We have to train them how to use it well, and then how to take advantage of it. Okay, and then we should also give them the chance to use the self-assessment center. Normally, the students in self-assessment center are too far, right? They are trying to focus on their curriculum, or they are focusing on their lesson only. At that time, we need to make connection with the lessons and the library together. give the task
Yeah.
to them, maybe like you said, project work. Depending on the topic, they have to go and find in the library. But I think nowadays, most of the people are using internet. So how do you think? Would it still be okay to have the self-access center with a lot of books? Because some people, they
Yeah.
might say, okay, Googling, everything can be known easily, blah, 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 blah. So how do you think
Okay.
about that?
No, teacher. I'm already search in Google, but there are many Wikipedia and I can search the real results.
Mhm.
So the problem I have. Uh, this student need have a trainer or some assistants to guide the real results.
Mhm. What about the other?
As the yeah.
How do you think?
Sure. I think for that kinds of, I think we don't need to afford to to hiring or to buy a building. I just need to we just have to scale or kinds of leadership skill. If we have a kinds of student who interested to participate, so we can do it. Because just now the thing that I know is I want to participate in American public speaker
Mhm.
speaking club, but I hardly go there. I hardly went there. But in that period, I can participate on Zoom meeting. Yeah, this is a kind of chance. Maybe um, in the future, we can do it on maybe Zoom or other application. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, future as well. We can think about two separate ways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So another point is making self-assessment appropriate for students. So how do you understand this fact? Making self-assessment. It's on page number 405. Page number 405. Making self-assessment appropriate for students. Okay, so let me ask you, Adolphine, first. So yeah, I think you have been to the library of British Council and American Center, right?
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
So I prefer maybe because of maybe I am just studying English at British Council, so I prefer British Council to American Center because of British Council, they provide a variety of books, and then those they provide lots of books, which is those are really my taste. But for the American Center, it's really rare. It's a kind of politics and so kind of rare. So but they provide just only a few books of language. They just provide professional development and self control, those kind of things. So what's your questions next? Okay. Okay.
Okay, so have you ever been to Yangon University's library?
Yes,
Sure.
I once been to Yangon University.
Just
and
study.
yeah,
Just study me. Just I want to know what is Yangon University, because when I used to be at university life, the library is already closed. Yeah, because I live in Bagu Hostel and Huibu Hostel. That's why sometimes I want to, yeah, I want to that this Yangon library, and I feel that in the past time when the maybe general answer or something like that on that kinds of people, why they are educated person, I want to know. That's why I just study there, and but there is nothing, just
okay.
only one or two people. Because
Okay.
So, I mean, have you ever tried some of the books from Yangon University?
I got it. I got it. So what's the difference between those two libraries?
Yeah.
For the Yangon
I just want
University,
to compare the taste.
you are not allowed to take the books out of the library, right? So you have to keep it in your cupboards for a
it's hardly
long time. So
to
yeah,
borrow. Yeah, it's hardly to borrow, and sometimes I want to copy. Maybe the facial expression or the librarian is not okay.
Hey, we're not talking about that. We are just focusing on the factors of library.
and
The taste of library.
So for the Yangon University Library, they only allow for the PhD or MA students who are
Of
just going to
course.
specialize. They were just allowing them to borrow. but for the British Council American Center, so you may have 1 year CAT, and then within 1 year you can borrow any books you want. But there's a kind of limitation, right? Just only 7 books for 2 weeks. So yes.
Oh, really? So yeah, Yami, he is sharing his knowledge. Nowadays, we can borrow the books from Yangon University.
Okay, good.
And for the outsiders, we can borrow the books from library. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, this is a good.
I just want to focus on the taste. For example, ELT books, different types of teaching methodology books and different types of activity books. In which library can we find it most? British Council or American?
British Council.
Yeah, the taste, right? So if you are the English teacher, you are likely to go to British Council mostly. The taste of the audience. We have to know about the taste. And then if you are a kind of a kind of person who write a novel or poem, which one do you prefer?
American Center is the best.
American Center, literature based. But if you are a kind of fun for Myanmar literature and then Myanmar novel, Myanmar poem, at that time you better go to Yangon University. Nowadays, Yangon University also, right? They are different types of sectors. They have separated the books in many different areas. It has been developed. I think I went there. I went to Yangon University for 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
During this time, I didn't go.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, when I went there, 2 years ago. But I have no idea what's happening right now. Yeah.
I think there are 2 types of library in Yangon University, right? Central library and.
Yeah, and then they are planning the library, the biggest one in the downtown. Yeah.
Central library.
Central library, yes.
And another one is beside the central library. That one also we can borrow some types of books related to ELT.
Yeah,
because when I joined ELT, I can borrow some of the books from there. So because some people donated there, and then we can borrow the books.
But for the British Council, they do have there's a desk upstairs, and they have teachers' books, and but in the past they are just only allowed for the British Council teachers, so they can only borrow the outsiders. They are not allowed even to touch the books. But right now, so we are allowed to touch the books, and you can read enjoying the books, but you're not allowed to take the books out of the library. So yes, until right now. So but you can read it. You have a right to read the books. So right now, oh my God, this is kind of difficulty.
Yeah, I think we should have more places like that so that we can have like own study time, or we can work our own pace.
We should provide self-assessed centers for teachers first of all, and then for the students later.
That's my case, right? With which case are you going to establish your SAC? It depends on your purpose. If you're aiming towards teenagers, you should provide the environment for teenagers. If you're aiming towards teachers, you should have the place for the teachers. Which one are you going to focus? We have to think about that one. This is making self-assessed centers appropriate for students. And another one is keeping interest going. That is also important point on page number 405. Keeping interest going. So to keep the person who come to SAC, to keep their interest going, what can we do? To come to your center.
Maybe coffee.
Oh my God, you like coffee? But I don't really like coffee.
I think so we should use the way that the Facebook do right now. So because of on Facebook, when you use the Facebook, so if you watch the video, right? So if, for example, if you watch the food blogger videos all the time, so later they will upload the videos that different videos, but it's all about cooking. So they will upload that one. So in the library for the self-assessed center, in that way, so first of all, they will just ask you about your taste, which taste do you prefer? It's kind of novel or kind of fashion or kind of teaching development or professional development. They will ask you. So first of all, so because of they will give you a form, a registration form, and you have to tick, right? So which one do you prefer most? And then they will just show you the way. So for example, this row is about this one, this was about this one. And then we will just so after 1 month, we have new books. So for this development or this one, so they were just, giving a kind of, those things. So this is the only way to attract the kind of readers or the customers who is just going to the self-assessed centers. I think so. Yeah.
That is one way, right? What about the other ways? Can you tell me your ideas to keep their interest going? How can we do? What type of activities can we try to let our people to come to the library or to come to the self-assessed center? Any other different ideas?
Doing research.
Maybe kind of, I have already mentioned kind of public speaking club. Maybe in this room, there's a lot of book they can read, and beside the room, another room, maybe they can practice their speaking skill. Maybe sometime, some of the day, maybe English, some of the day in Myanmar. Yeah.
Yeah, that is also a nice idea. We can have the activity like public speaking club.
Yeah,
Okay.
the speaking class.
What about two other teachers? Any other ideas to get them interested in your center?
So we can do, how can I say literature? How can I say in English? I don't know I forgot the word. Sabi how about way?
Seminar?
Yes, stamina, yeah. Like that, we can do the stamina.
Workshop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is also one way, right? So we can announce ahead. For example, today we are going to have the workshop about how to train your students to be blah 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 blah. I'm talking from the view of the teacher. But if you really want to have your students, you can try to create a situation, maybe like storytelling section, how you're going to tell the story from parents to the younger generation, or maybe like storytelling competition by the students.
Yeah.
It's also interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, small events, right?
Yeah.
Right? Any other ideas? One more, only one more. After that, we are going to move to next. Only one more.
Yeah, according to the chapter, getting fever and feeling attended in every activity. They may be improve they may be promote their improvement. You know.
Oh yeah, I see. You will collect their attendance.
Collect their attendance and comment, getting feedback, writing comment on the signboard or
yeah,
or on the notebook.
A kind of review, right? After they have read or after they have done something, they have to write something, a short note on the board.
Yeah. So after reading by once another, they can reviews and recommend. They can recommend, and so they may improve.
Yeah, and also another idea is like you said, we can collect the attendance, and then it's like based on quantity, right? Not on quality yet. Firstly, we better try on quantity. For example, every man, we are trying to check their attendance back. If they come, for example, teacher April come to the self-assessed center 10 times, but teacher can come only 5 times. At that time, we can give the bonus to teacher April, maybe a kind of small gift or things like that. And then we can post a picture of teacher April, and we can say, oh, congratulations for joining 10 times in this man. Have a big blah 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 blah, like that. Maybe it's a kind of appreciation, right? In this way, the other people also, they might get, oh, if we go there very often, we can get appreciation from such kind of people. You can even give a certificate, small certificate, and then give a sort of appreciation. Firstly, I think we better focus on quantity. People want quantity, right? After that, we will train them little by little, and they will get quality little by little. So that's my idea. Attendance.
Yeah, great teacher.
Any other ideas? Anything left? Yes, no?
Maybe smarter facility.
Smarter facility. Yeah, of course. People want it, right? Wi-Fi, airco, and then comfortable chair, sofa, blah, blah, blah.
I think lectures is much better.
Oh yeah, of course. The basic needs.
Yes,
Yeah.
they Disney. You know, if you don't have, there is no chairs. You know, there are no chairs at that time, so you may have difficulty. So where should I sit? Who should I sit on the table? So you know, you have to think a lot. So yeah, I'll just my original thinking is, you know, I just want to improve my skill, but what I'm facing is I have to find my own space, you know, to improve my skill. So it's kind of difficulty for, you know, for self-assessed centers.
Uh-huh. For me, British Council used to be my office when I didn't open my school yet. At that time, I hired a place to teach part-time only. So there is no place to work. There is no place for administration procedure. There is no place for registration procedure. What I usually try is I go to British Council and then do my own job. Sometimes I read and sometimes I have to accept the students and sometimes I need to advertise about my courses or things like that. So it's a really best place for
The best place, yes.
office. Okay, so these are about the characteristics of characteristics to think to have a good self-assessed center. And another one they talk about is evaluating. How are we going to evaluate self-assessed results? Evaluating. I think this is also very important. I think we need to cooperate with the other people, right? Maybe like NGO organization or things like that. Because we don't normally have a very good quality book. If the book quality is very good, the prices will be like going up a lot. So we can keep all the things. And if we use the old books, it's not good as well. So we have to think about
The
it.
problem.
Yeah, the problem.
The biggest challenge.
So,
Evaluate.
yeah, I was wondering, you know, for the teachers' results, they are always expensive. There will be no more discounts, you know. It's kind of all the time. It's like always above 1 lakh, you know. This
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, the original books are too expensive. Appreciation for the author. And also, I think they are talking about different types of after the course. So I think this is related to learner autonomy as well. How are we going to promote the learner autonomy after the course? For example, today you finish the class or today you finish the course. At that time, how can they keep on doing something? So this is also a nice idea. Okay, well done. So I think we discussed a lot today. I think today's discussion is really nice because it's quite practical and then we can imagine what we can do next, right?
Yeah.
So please try to join the reading club on which day today is? I forgot today.
Saturday?
Wednesday.
Saturday, yeah, please come and join on Wednesday as well. Don't try to read the other things. After this one finish, I will upload a new schedule. At that time, you can have a look at it and then you can read according to that schedule. Okay, thank you so much for joining here today and see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.